Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
All right, good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. By the way, it's morning here from this part of the country. Femi Ojo is my name, and we're very happy that you are joining us for the week-ending edition of this program, Morning Spring, on Western Spring Television. Is the TGIF. There is a certain individual who says Friday is our best day.
Of
There
the
you go.
week. Yeah, it is. How are you doing, Femi?
Very well.
I mean, who doesn't love Friday? Is the weekend. So I said to my people here in Nigeria, and if it's morning, wherever you are,
Right.
Ekaro, Inakwana, Otutuoma, my people, and from where I am from, my name is Evelyn Ohiolei. Welcome on board to
How about your Edo
another.
people? You are not greeting them.
Exactly, I said from where I am. I already
Okay.
said it.
Okay.
Okay, all right, my people. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei, and it's a pleasure welcoming you to the last installment of Morning Spring for the week.
Right.
And we are indeed grateful to God for life, and to you, our esteemed viewers, who have been with us from the beginning, from the start of the week till this present moment. We appreciate you all of the time. You know how we do it. The newspaper review segment comes first, then we move to the conversation, speaking to critical issues, talking to critical stakeholders, politicians, policymakers, so we can have a hang of what is happening in the country and beyond. For me.
Exactly. That's what we do here every time. And, before we go to the headlines, I was following the Yahya Bello EFCC second season drama, in the series. And, there are some school of information, let me put it how it says. Truly, Yahya Bello was at the EFCC office in the company of his
The governor
successor.
of Kogi
Yeah. Usman Ododo with these guys, and he was there, but that he was turned back, because when he approached in the convoy of the governor. And by the way, the governor wasn't invited. And so he could have been taken in, the same names. Other sources said he was turned back, and the operatives of the EFCC were, directed not to attend to him because he wasn't invited. Taking him, arresting him.
It wasn't invited, but he's a wanted fellow.
He's a wanted
I
fellow.
mean,
Yeah.
it's the disconnection for me.
Yeah,
a wanted fellow walks into your office,
Yeah.
and you said he wasn't invited.
But on that, according to that sources again, said because he was in the company of the governor who has immunity. So he could.
Is it that
I'm going somewhere. Hold on.
is See,
So hold on.
is funny.
So because of that, he couldn't be attended to, and he couldn't be arrested. That it wasn't done that way. So he had, because it wasn't attended to, he couldn't even go in or something like that. So it went back. Now, if that story is true, or is an abridged version of what happened, pictures, there are videos that show that truly he was there and Ododo was there, like my guy, bodyguard, PA, Babala thing. And so he wasn't taken in at that point. This same question you're about to raise is what some persons are raising, that even if it comes in the company of the United Nations Secretary General or the best of the diplomats in the world, he's a wanted man. Now, and the EFCC said, no, we can't touch you. And then maybe an effort was even made to arrest him in his house or something.
The governor's lodge in Abuja.
The governor's lodge. And, the sound of gunshot rented the air. And you would think it's a movie scene. Gunshot everywhere, with footage that we can't really verify at this point. Now, it gave rise to many questions. I saw it and I said, if actually that line of stories true, then that is executive brigandage or banditry. In fact, if we want to do that, and a completely weakened institution. That's the way I just said.
I think I'll go with the last one you said.
Kiriji War, also known as Ekiti Parapa War, was waged among Yoruba main ethnic groups which emerged from the ruins of the falling Oyo Empire that were desperate to replace the awesome powers hitherto wielded by the Alaafin of Oyo. The Kiriji War is defined as a conflict of confederacy and unitary political system championed by Yorubas of different socio-economic and political interests. The Ibadan military aristocrats felt they deserved a dominant position for saving Yoruba land from being totally submerged by the Fulanis by their victory in Oshobo War of 1840 and Ijaye War of 1862. Kiriji War, that took its name from the booming motor sounds of European arms festered for so long because the Industrial Revolution in Europe provoked high standards of slaves. The 16-year Civil War also caused the emergence of new powerful kingdoms like Ibadan and the rise of powerful personalities like Ohiolei, Ogunmola, Kunmi, Latosha, Shodeke, Fabumi, and Ogedengbe. One of the fallouts of Kiriji War was the birth of creative political and leadership structure in Yoruba land that was a blend of federalism and the autocratic monarchical system. Western Spring Television identifies Kiriji War as a watershed event.
Welcome back. It's the newspaper review segment, so let's get right into it. The very first paper I'll be reviewing this morning is The Guardian. Let's see what The Guardian asks for us this Friday morning. Edo decides 2024, people, politics, power, and their godfathers on a warpath. And you can see the major players there, on the field, on the track field there. Can see the Labour Party, APC, and PDP candidates with their godfathers behind them, or people that seemingly you can call their godfathers. Away from that, NNPCL marketers return to PMS import over shortfall from Dangote. I thought Dangote, as said has the capacity to provide for Nigeria and even other African countries. So what's happening? NNPCL marketers return to PMS import over shortfall from Dangote. Something is really not adding up here. PDP crisis, more cracks in governor's rank as BOT meets NAS caucus. Outrage as EFCC's Bello arrest saga marks 80.2 billion naira fraud charge. And you can see Yaya Bello's photograph and that of Mr. Ola Olukayode, the EFCC chair. Anxiety over a poll as police vow to descend on troublemakers. Appeal court approves FG Onogan out of court settlement. It's been a while, years on this particular case. Appeal court approves FG Onogan out of court settlement. Fubara's loyalists to contest council election under APP. Fubara's loyalists to contest council election under APP. What's happening with the PDP? Court orders Belama Oil to pay $21 million, 10 billion naira contract debts to BGP CNPC. And these stories you can find on the Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right, from the Guardian newspaper, we move to the next one, and it will be the Punch. Military, and let me put it the way it's supposed to be, Edo poll. Military mans state boundaries. EFCC goes after vote bias. With the security, agencies in show of force, government declares holiday, materials arrive 18 local governments, INEC upbeat of success. You can see the picture there of some, fam-looking policemen in their gears there, and Just below that, address ticket refunds in 24 hours. Federal government tells NCAA Lagos cleric abductors demand 30 million naira ransom. Are the issues. Forest crisis, PZ cousins to sell Nigeria subsidiaries. Another one is moving. NECO invite 40 schools over mass cheating in SSCE. That would invite. Right, and farmer herder clashes. Federal government panel recommends open grazing and ranching. Dangote officials, refiners tackle marketers over imported PMS. And Damagum, 4 governors back weekly support for PDP chair. That will be all from the Punch newspaper.
And from the Punch newspaper this morning, we head on to Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian Tribune newspaper cracks widen in PDP over plot to remove Damagum. For the rider, Adamawa governor declares support for acting national chairman. I stand by PDP's constitution, governors forum. Adeleke says. And still on Nigerian Tribune this morning, FG ex CJN Onoge get appeal court's nod to settle out of court. Ex-British envoy cautions against October protest, hints of foreign backing. And Tinubu cancels United Nations General Assembly trip, Shatima to represent him. Ekiti Bank's report of mass failure in 2024 common entrance placement examination going to the Doguba, heavy security ahead of polls. 35,000 police officers, 6,433 NSCDC men, soldiers, EFCC on ground to ensure hit-free poll. INEC asks parties, candidates to comply with Electoral Act. Can holds prayer session for smooth election. Government declares today work-free day. And top strip Nigerian Tribune, NECO releases results, 60.55% make credit in English and mathematics, says 40 schools in 17 states involved in malpractices to blacklist 21 supervisors. Still on Nigerian Tribune controversy as NAS moves to rush new body to conduct LG elections. And that will be all from Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning.
And that'll be the nurture we can take on this segment for today. When we return, we speak to the oil sector. And what do we have on our hands right now? Some of the stories, headlines we've read, talked about the NNPCL, Dangote oil marketers, resulting to importation, even while we have one of the refineries, biggest in the world that has the highest capacity, but there is something wrong that we are not getting right. We speak to that with a critical stakeholder very shortly. Still Morning Spring of Western Spring Television. Stay with us.